it's no secret that there are sometimes gender inequities within STEM. And so I was wondering if you have experienced one, if you could elaborate on it, and if you have any advice for girls who might be unwilling or reserved to go into a field in STEM because of these gender inequities.
Yeah, I think, for me, it's always been tiny little things. I've never had kind of like a big overarching thing that happened to me that was sort of very apparent in my face. Oh, I'm being treated this way sort of because I'm a woman, and that's horrible and wrong, and nobody should ever have to experience that. But it's always it's little things. It's these little things that add up over time. And the one that kind of comes to my mind is when I first started working, was I was walking around, and I was walking with a woman who I was being mentored by at the time. And the two of us were walking around, and everybody thought that I was an intern. And I was like, no, I have a PhD. I'm not an intern. And I think it's not uncommon for women to feel or to be perceived as not having the sort of credentials that they actually do have. And I found that to be, oh my God, I was so mad, so incensed. But, it's sort of, you have to kind of let it roll a little bit, and develop some coping mechanisms that allow you to still continue to be professional, right? Because getting into some kind of argument with anybody is not going to benefit you, and it's not going to benefit them. So I think, as pieces of advice to young women who maybe are discouraged, I think finding people who are going to champion you and to be a mentor for you, because those people are so much more prevalent than people who are not nice. Like, there's so many more people who are nice and who want to help you than there are people who are not nice and don't want to help you. So ignore them. Don't talk to them, ignore them, and find other people who are willing to support you and willing to help you out, because it's just not worth your time to try to make them happy, because you never will be able to. So that's kind of the way that I have at least landed in my, when I feel like I'm being treated differently, is sort of just, you're going to be you, and I'm going to go do something else over here.
Now, that's very good advice. I think that not letting it get to you and just realizing that you're not going to be able to change their opinion, but their opinion shouldn't influence you in any way is a very good realization to come to as soon as possible.
It's much harder. It's much easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the other thing is it's very easy to sort of be like, oh, just let it roll off your back, no big deal. But it's hard. It still bothers me sometimes, right? It's still a thing that bothers me, and I still a thing that I have to consciously try to figure out how to let it roll off my back. But, I think you just have to, it's a learned skill. And remembering that, and don't let yourself get beat up when it does bother you, is also really important too, because it's a skill that you have to learn and you have to develop, like any other. And so I think that that's important to remember too.